Hello guys, and welcome to Daddy Share Space. So today I have an assortment of my Festool drills that I have here in the shop, and I have actually purchased an accessory that will fit, I believe, on the TID. I'm not sure if it'll fit on the Festool C18, but we're gonna find out. The tool that I ordered is right here in this small piece of bubble wrap. So we'll go ahead and open it up and see what we have. So right here we have part number 769064, also known as AD-38FF, and I imagine the FF stands for Fast Fix. Let's go ahead and open up the device. So it just kind of screws together, and what we have here is a 3/8 chuck with a Fast Fix adapter. So what this will give you the ability to do is to use it with sockets. So let's go ahead, before I use it with the TID, I'm gonna see if it fits on the C18 drill, as it is Fast Fix, so we'll see if it'll actually connect and work. So obviously you'll pull back the collet here, and it does fit, and it works as you would expect. All right, so let's go ahead and put it on the TID. So we'll pull back and it comes off, and it also works on the TID. Now I don't know if it'll work on the CSX. It might not, but we're gonna, give it a try. And it does. So this is one of the nice features about the Festool system. They have several of these adapters and chucks, specialty chucks that you can use with the drills, and as you can see, it goes across the whole line. This here is a 10.7 volt CSX, the older model drill, and then you have their hammer drill, and then finally you have a regular C-handled C18 drill. So it fits across the line. I would imagine if I bought the newer CSX, this would fit as well. I know that it did work as well with the PDC, which was the predecessor to this particular drill. So that's a nice degree of versatility. Now let's go a little bit more into what you can do with this. Here I have my Milwaukee socket set, and these bits that are inside of the set are not impact rated. But what I can do is I can take my 3/8 socket adapter here, and I can put it onto this Fast Fix. And actually, okay, so the way that this actually operates, when you go to just try to push it on, it does not just snap on. You actually have to pull back the collet here to get it to go on, and it sits on there nice and well. Now, of course, you've got a lot of bit wobble here in this tip, so you're not getting that Centrotec precision, but you wouldn't really necessarily need it in this application. Now, obviously, I can take any of the bits from my socket set here, pop them on, and utilize it as a ratchet. Now, for myself personally, why would I use this in my shop? In the past, I've used 3/8 ratchets, Milwaukee powered ratchets, to do things like install caster wheels to my shop furniture. So one of the downfalls that I found to using the ratchet is these actually come in, I want to say this particular one may be like 25 to 30 foot-pounds of torque or whatever on the device. And I actually used this when I was attaching my Veritas dowel maker to a board, and it actually kind of scarred up the body of the device, because this right here, you don't have a lot of control. As opposed to using, like, say, the Festool drill, I can obviously set the speed, but then I can also go back here and dial it in as far as on the speed selector, as far as power, so that basically I can just snug up my bolt without actually putting too much pressure. So it's giving you the flexibility of a cordless drill, but giving you obviously the anvil feature of a typical automotive type ratchet. I personally use these bolts often in my shop builds and such, and so that is why I kind of looked at this adapter. Now you can actually buy a small adapter that can actually fit into a Centrotec chuck, or you can also find the adapter that will fit into a regular 3/4 inch drill. So you could do even a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, or 3/8. This particular device here is strictly a 3/8. But of course you could actually put a reducer to bring this down to 1/4 of an inch, or you can also have one of the devices that will take it in the opposite direction to move this up to a 1/2 inch anvil. So that gives you a degree of flexibility. For me personally, I think this will be a nice little addition to the shop. I think it's just another example of the actual tricks that the Festool drills have up their sleeves. In the future, I look forward to picking up a couple of their other accessories for the Festool drills so that I could use them in my shop. Anyways, guys, thanks for taking time to watch this small video on this Festool 3/8 Fast Fix chuck adapter.